headline that reads, leaked descriptions of infamous Russia ads derail collusion narrative. They show support for Clinton. Some of the ads reportedly promoted African-American rights groups like Black Lives Matter and even highlighted support for Hillary Clinton among Muslim women. What do you think of this, Lawrence Jones?
This is new technology. It's going to happen. The fact that the Democrats continue this collusion thing to make their argument, I think it's overplayed. People are already disgusted of it. But it goes to question, this is a private business, and people can target whatever they want to target. It may be dirty, but you know what? There's no way you can regulate it, and those that are calling for regulation of it, I think it's wrong.
But he says Don Jr. says this puts the allegations to rest, does it?
I don't think it puts the allegations to rest when the Washington Post is making, you know, these detailed claims that sound very important, using big words in a newspaper. Does the Washington Post not sell digital ads to anyone? That's why these media empires still exist, is because they are figuring out a way to use Facebook's technology to target people. What we haven't seen, and you know, they sprinkle a little bit of anecdotal data, but we haven't really seen, like, what is the connection? How do you prove that those ads internalized and changed people's minds? Because that's the critical question.
Well, here's the thing. The ads were on both sides. I mean, we did some research on the intelligence report, and basically we came up with a bunch of ads that targeted Donald Trump as well. So it's not as though this, you know, there were other people doing it.
But
I don't know if they were from the Ukraine.
What is the difference from the commercials?
In other words, exactly. So, but there's, yeah, I guess you get the whole fake news thing, and how do you know if it's fake? How do you know if it's real? Should Facebook have more responsibility?
What resonates more, a Facebook ad or a negative political ad? And how do you measure that? How do you measure what the influences were that went into someone's very personal voting decision?
And Hillary Clinton had so much money. She had so much money. All I saw is negative.
So much money.
She also, by the way, I mean, I know she would argue that the press didn't like her. I would tell you the press, they liked her. Certainly compared to Donald Trump. So she
as much
had
as they
a more
could like her, she's not a likable person.
But
all the crying election night.
But the Mueller probe, Harris, where does this put this?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I think Kennedy has a good point. I don't know how we measure the heart when we watch things. You know, we can do it real time with the focus groups, and we can kind of have an idea, but we're not in the voting booth with people. So we don't know in the moment that they make a decision whether or not an ad they say saw anywhere in social media, but particularly Facebook, really changed them in that moment. And so how do you legislate that? How do you control a private company to keep it from doing
And that's also the biggest fear. You bring up the most critical point, is the ultimate end that the government somehow censors Facebook and tells them who to sell their ads to and what the content should be, because that is an incredibly slippery slope.
Well, and there's